Detroit has drafted legends like Yzerman, Lidstrom, and Datsuk, but let's be honest, they've also missed out on some absolute superstars. Some picks haunt the franchise. Some picks change the league. And others just make you shake your head. Today, we're counting down the top 10 NHL stars the Red Wings passed on. Players Detroit could have had, should have had, but didn't. Let's dive in, Wings fans, if you can stomach it. 10. TJ Oshie, passed in 2005. With the 19th pick in the 2005 NHL Draft, the Red Wings selected defenseman Jakob Kindl. Just 5 spots later, the St. Louis Blues took TJ Oshie, one of the most dynamic and clutch forwards of his era. While Kindl struggled to cement a role in Detroit, Oshie became a shootout assassin, Olympic hero, and Stanley Cup champion with Washington. He brought grit, leadership, and timely scoring, the exact traits Detroit needed in the post-Yzerman era. 9. PK Subban, passed in 2007. The Wings had a late first-round pick in 2007, 27th overall, and they selected Brendan Smith, a puck-moving D-man out of Wisconsin. But at pick 43, the Canadiens grabbed PK Subban. Subban won a Norris Trophy, became the face of a franchise, and logged over 800 NHL games. Meanwhile, Smith bounced between the NHL and AHL, and never developed into more than a bottom-pair option. A rare miss on blue-line talent for the Wings. 8. Braden Holtby, passed in 2008. With the 30th overall pick in 2008, Detroit selected goalie Thomas McCullum, meant to be the heir to Chris Osgood. Instead, he flamed out after just 3 NHL appearances. But guess who went 93rd overall that year? Braden Holtby, the Vezina-winning, Stanley Cup-winning rock behind the Washington Capitals' title run. Holtby stabilized the Caps for nearly a decade, while Detroit cycled through backups and question marks. 7. Shea Theodore, passed in 2013. In 2013, Detroit went with the big winger Anthony Mantha at 20th overall. Big body, big shot, but streaky effort and limited two-way play. Meanwhile, just 6 picks later, Anaheim took Shea Theodore, who blossomed into a cornerstone defenseman for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's a smooth skater, top-pair minute eater, and Stanley Cup winner. Detroit's blue line could have used that post-Kronwall. 6. Alex DeBrincat, passed in 2016. In 2016, the Red Wings went with defenseman Dennis Kalowski at 20th overall. While he showed flashes of skill, he struggled with consistency and defensive awareness, eventually waived. But just 19 picks later, Chicago took Alex DeBrincat, a Michigan native and sniper with multiple 40-goal seasons. He was in Detroit's backyard, a pure scorer, passed over for a defenseman who never stuck. 5. Sebastian Aho, passed in 2015. The Wings had the 19th pick in 2015 and used it on Yevgeny Svechnikov, a player with top-6 upside. That never materialized. Injuries and inconsistency kept him from cracking the lineup long-term. Then at pick 35, the Hurricanes took Sebastian Aho, now their franchise center and one of the most complete two-way forwards in the league. Imagine Aho centering Larkin and Raymond today. 4. Quinn Hughes, passed in 2018. Filip Zadina was the can't-miss pick in 2018, drafted 6th overall. He famously said he'd fill the nets of the teams who passed on him. But the Canucks selected Quinn Hughes at 7th overall, and he became a Norris finalist and captain in Vancouver. Zadina. He struggled to produce and was eventually bought out. Detroit passed on an elite puck-moving D in their own backyard. 3. Joe Sakic, passed in 1987. Back in 1987, Detroit had the 12th pick and took Keith Osborne, a forward who played just 16 NHL games. 3 picks later, Joe Sakic, captain of the Avalanche, over 1,600 points. Conn Smythe winner, Stanley Cup legend, a guy who torched Detroit throughout the 90s, and they could have had him. 2. Zdeno Chara, passed in 1996. With their first-round pick in 96, Detroit took Jesse Wallen, who played 49 NHL games. Meanwhile, Zdeno Chara was taken 56th overall by the Islanders. Chara became a generational shutdown defenseman, captain of a cup team in Boston, and played 600-plus games. Wallen, A forgotten name in Red Wings history. 1. Yarmaga, passed in 1990. Detroit had the third pick in the legendary 1990 draft. They selected Keith Primo, a solid NHLer, but not a generational player. At pick 5, the Penguins took Yarmaga, the second highest point scorer in NHL history. He played until age 45, dazzled fans for decades, and helped end Detroit's Cup dreams more than once. Yager and the winged wheel? Just imagine. Detroit has had its share of steals, but it's also passed on some all-time greats. Whether it was a scouting miss, bad luck, or just one pick too early, these decisions changed the course of Red Wings history. Which of these stings the most for you? Yager, Chara, Aho? Let us know in the comments, and hit like if this hurt to watch. Subscribe for more Red Wings retrospectives, only on the Winged Wheel Report.